10 seconds remaining. Reserve time. 5 seconds remaining.
Witch Doctor.
I mean, Mineski is one of those teams right now. It's predicted to by almost everyone, if like 90% of the people, to finish 16th place because we just figure SEA region is pretty weak. You know, eventually somebody has to get last place at the tournament, and like they have, like you said, the most to prove here in this game to show that they can hang with the best, and they just need to make sure they don't get run over here by EG because EG hasn't had the greatest success as of late. So this is a good proving ground for both teams. EG if they stomp all over them, or Mineski if they can just prove that they can hang with the best.
Seconds remaining. Radiant team back. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Evil geniuses turn to bad.
I mean, it's an amazing hero in this situation right here because it blocks out all the physical DPS coming out from Witch Doctor ulti, coming out from Slaughter, they amplify, and it gives you, that's what they call an embrace turnaround. And then you have the other turnaround play coming with the Winter's Curse, where you can just, you know, make somebody, all of them attack them. That could give whoever's handling the Doom, whether that's going to be Fear or Boba in this situation, good time to duel. I like the way that they can set up and engage in team fights, so they have a lot of disengage and engage. That's why they're looking very scary right now. But Mineski, they have a lot to play around with this lineup, and they have a lot of sustain, they have a lot of initiation. Now they just need to round it up.
Ten seconds remaining. Evil geniuses turn to bad. Radiant team pick.
Yep.
Evil geniuses turn to pick.
Yep. Now, I'm not going to predict that there's going to be a Zeus picked in this game, but it was picked around me, and it is starting to rain cats and dogs around here. And if my electricity manages to go out, I might not be back. Just a forewarning, if I die, Durka killed me, everyone, and report it. Report it to the authorities. Oh, Abaddon, this is the perfect game for it. Oh my goodness, Durka.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
It's very scary to not know the situation because I've seen Bulba play it, we've seen BBD play it. In most likelihood, this looks like an offlane Bulba Abaddon, a Doom support, or they could just run Doom Abaddon offlane and Winter Wyvern plus another strong support, which is this is a perfect slot game for EG. This is because you can get rid of the Amplify, you can get rid of the Batrider Lasso, you can just constantly wail on the Dragon Knight because he's just like that beefcake that you're like, come kiss me, guys. Come touch me. Come hit me. And then you get all his stats. So that could be a perfect pick for EG here. But they might want to pick up their other mid lane first and see what Mineski are going to go for their carry. Or actually, yeah, should be Slaughter safe lane. Batrider off lane, or they could just do vice versa. But it looks like all the cards on the table for Mineski, so they can still go their carry right now for EG. But what other carries or mid lanes are we looking for here? Viper is pretty disgusting, honestly, here.
Sven stands ready.
Radiant team ban.
EG's lineup right now, it's more focused on out farming with Sven and Doom and trying to group up as 5 too at the same time. Whereas Mineski, they're saying, okay, we have a good amount of push here with the Dragon Knight, and we also have a ton of potential to go around the map with Slardar and Batrider, get a lot of kills, and put a lot of pressure on your heroes. So both lineups, you can see the diversity, and right now, it's hard to tell who's favored, but EG in these fights, I think, are going to come out ahead just because all of their heroes are super tanky, and Mineski, they have to find a way to burst them. I think the best hero for Mineski left is probably Lion, in a sense where, or even AA, but AA was banned earlier, so you don't have that to work with. Now you need something that has burst damage. That finger can always help out. Even Alina isn't that bad, and you need something to help magic burst damage through the cold embrace, through all of this physical armor with the spin. And you know Doom is just going to get a lot of armor items too. So is Abaddon. They're going to get Vlads, they're going to get Mech, and you just have to find ways to burst them down now.
Evil geniuses turn to pick. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
And if they pick Enigma now, they're just going to win every single lane for EG. So you can't even go back for something greedy. You just need a stock standard support. Right now, EG's lineup is looking very scary, Gareth. I'm trying to figure out what Mineski can really do to round it out to save them. And this Razor is just going to dominate the mid lane on the Dragon Knight. The only lane I feel like they can even kill is the Razor in this situation. And the Witch Doctor might have to be forced into that early Meldic. They might need Slardar to rotate, Batrider even. And once it becomes the mid game, it's going to have to heavily rely on pickoffs around the map for Mineski to take these engagements. They're just going to have to constantly pick EG apart around the map, else they're not going to win this game. So Mineski, as we talked about, Lion seems like their best option. Nothing else is really striking me. I mean, potentially you could get Wisp. I don't think Mineski plays Wisp. This is a great game for it because it adds more potential to gank around the map, and you can relocate out people who are doomed, but I just don't think Mineski play that hero.
Remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Imber Spirit.
Yep.
The open mic is on now, so all you guys in Dota TV can now hear me, hopefully.
No,
got that all sorted out.
We liked it better
So
when we could just hear me, man.
Yeah, maybe so, maybe so. Ryu talking to himself. Sounds like,
that's just weird.
I mean, it's pretty broke back just you talking to yourself. I don't think anyone would really prefer that over both of us idiots talking, but nevertheless, we can hear both of us now. EG are actually picking up all their heroes, and Mineski, Jules, Slardar, bo3, Batrider, so that's going to be, what, a 4-roll Bat mid DK, and Ember Spirit on Raging Potato for the safe lane. Is it going to be the support? Like, Mineski's one of these teams that really do, or can, swap up their roles a lot, so it's going to be interesting to see how they actually match up these heroes. So it's going to be a support Slardar, it looks like. This is something that's been tried and tested in Southeast Asia, especially Filipino teams. Asion Arena, I think, was one of the first ones I saw do a 4-roll Slardar. And you just go sprint crush, and like you said, you roam around the map, you look for kills, and you put pressure in places that really it's not expected.
Yeah, that's what they're going to have to do. They're just going to have to take EG out of their comfort zone this game, because EG's lineup on paper looks way scarier. And just straight up team fights, they look like they're gonna crush. But EG, they need a lot of levels, right? They need the levels on Abaddon, they need the levels on the Winter Wyvern. That's where they can start getting hurt and punished. But as we stated, EG, their dual lanes are incredible in this game, where they can just almost immediately win on these, these laning phases. So it's gonna have to come down to this roaming Slardar, as we're talking about. He has to get so much done here for Jules in order for them to crush this early game, and they have to crush this early game to slow down EG before they group up 5-man, get all their items.
Sumail boots first, Dragon Knight, and he's got tangos and branches. That static link is going to do a hell of a lot of work towards the mid lane, and EG just want to try and consolidate their position up towards the top rune spot and get that bounty rune for themselves. So Bulba off lane on this Abaddon, but now he's going to be alone, but Fear might wander himself over there as he'll devour up this large camp off towards the off lane. Up at top, AUI Sven as well as PPD on that Wyvern facing off against bo3's Batrider. Where's the Slardar? Jules. And the Brown Boots at level 1. They'll try and block up this wave for Ben-Hur towards the mid, while Raging Potato got Bimbo down at bottom lane on the Ember Spirit, while Cast will be playing that Witch Doctor, like I said. Been really one of his signature heroes for the past, year or so, since he left Rave and started playing in other teams. Oh, look at that. It's so annoying as a DK getting your damage sapped out already, and this might secure. Oh, no denying the range creep there. Just going to trade it off 1-for-1 for now. It's top lane. What's happening? bo3 already forced out by PPD. This Wyvern proving to be an amazing hassle. And they'll rotate the Slardar up here to try and help.
Is a situation where Slardar had to go in the mid lane to block out the camps, else this is going to happen for Ben-Hur. If Sumail has the advantage, he's just going to keep, out CSing Ben-Hur. And then, so that situation with the block helped them, and then now Slardar has to help out the top lane here, so the Batrider doesn't get completely zoned out. And this is a good situation now for Mineski. They can win this off lane. They're going to have to hope their Dragon Knight doesn't lose too badly in the mid lane, but I suspect Sumail to kind of crush this lane. It's almost impossible for Dragon Knight. He's just going to have to, bottle crow constantly. And then bottom lane here, we have a good opportunity for, Boba and Fear to take over this game, because they should come out ahead on this bottom lane.
Yeah, like you said, until these heroes get their levels up. Oh, Jules up at top, he's chasing down PPD, and will get the crush in, but Winter Wyvern not really pressured too heavily by this. Jules just chases him into the middle of the creep wave. But bottom lane for Radiant, there's no real kill potential here on Doom or Abaddon. Maybe would have been if Raging Potato could get himself a little bit faster into that level 3. But for now, it's just going to be shields up, and this Doombringer here with that Scorched Earth. Plenty of levels for them and tons of ways to deal with the aggression out from them. But it's top lane. This is where we'll probably see the first blood happen. Sven and Wyvern, they can kill off the Batrider maybe, but it's Mineski always running themselves forward and aiming for that kind of trajectory to cut off the Winter Wyvern. PPD, if he's out of position, even by, a slither, he's definitely going to get picked off.
Right, and this is the situation where, like you said, PPD is the candidate for, AUI, never mind.
And he's going to turn back around, still being burnt up by the Firefly. bo3 chasing this down with 4 sticky napalm stacks up. EG, keep themselves alive there and still not giving anything up, but Sven's last hits, what are you looking at? 9-1, Batrider's up there at 12-1. So Mineski have at least broken even on this lane, and they're kind of forcing AUI into a position where he's not fully free farming.
It's really good for them. They could have potentially killed him there if AUI did not get a double stun. And they could have started body blocking with Slardar if it didn't hit him, and I think they would have got the kill. Just amazing play from AUI there, keeping himself alive. And then, yep, this is where as we're looking at it, the static link, this is just when a hole is going to be made. It's just, Dragon Knight, he's gonna stay at 8 CS or maybe here, but he just missed the flame breath, so or breathe fire. I mean, Dota 1 days, but this is a situation. He's just gonna be hurting, and he's gonna have to heavily rely on his allies to rotate into the mid lane once he gets level 6, and they're gonna punish Sumail constantly for playing aggressive. Like he's gonna play aggressive because he's a Razor against the DK. Bottom lane.
There's no way to really punish him, and this is where EG can maybe turn things back into the face of Mineski. Nice throwing chains come out and stop Quell, and well, he pushed back EG. Fear, he's not done just yet, slamming into that Witch Doctor as much as he can, but it's mid lane, where maybe they'll try and find this catch. Sumail, he runs forward, playing that aggressive movement like we've seen from him, but walks back into the river, and Jules, he's got a difficult time ahead of him actually trying to push into that. This does leave the Batrider up at top alone against AUI and PPD, and he's actually walked into the Sven here with a damage output of EG, getting back into that Batrider, looks good, but still no kill power.
And they also tried to make a go at mid lane here. He haste runed immediately from in here and Jules wasn't able to get in range for the crush, but I don't think they could have killed Smell either way. So that's a haste rune gone away, because what happens is you Dragon Tail him, he has unstable current leveled up, so you get away your double damage or your haste rune when you try to cast a spell on somebody. So that's unfortunate for Ben here. He would love to have that to maybe have a second go, but doesn't have the rune anymore.
So with Mineski, you know, they're looking for Batrider Blink, they want a Slardar Blink as well. Ember Spirit, he needs a fair amount of time to get into Boots of Travel and Battle Fury. Dragon Knight's kind of one of the few heroes really that doesn't need that one big item to give him that viability in the mid-game teamfight. Just wants his armlet, his shreds, get himself stacked up a little bit there. While EG, it's all kind of smooth sailing for them. They don't have any heroes that have item requirements, right? They've got lots of heroes that are just dependent on skill sets that just run at you.
Oh, meanwhile, AUI is really out of position here. He could be in trouble. PPD, where are you at?
And 5 stick charges. Even with these napalm stacks coming up, AUI's crushed up again. Bocarino burns through him, and that's your first blood there. Batrider picks it up, looking to go forward onto PPD as well. Comes down in bottom lane, there's a little bit of battle down there as well, as Ember Spirit picked off by the Doom and the Abaddon.
It's okay. I'm the production, guys. We don't need a, multi-cam. I got you. That was a good play in the bottom lane, chasing him down. And they might even have a chance here. Infernal Blade. Fear is laying out the deeps, but Ember just got caught off guard. I think he was going for the bottle at the side shop or something, and then they just cut him off. But nice difficult first blood, anyways, from Mineski.
I mean, a carry for a carry. It's not too shabby. And that's 1,000 gold on your Batrider as well. And he's actually getting pretty quickly into that Blink Dagger, while AUI got his Helm of the Dominator. But Sumail maybe making the first rotation. Now, he was looking for the 6-minute rune, but it's been picked out by Raging Potato already.
So this is when Sumail needs to be playing a little bit cautious. What does he have?
He does have to be. Again, going up the enemy ramp, but Jules is ready with a crush, and Bocarino sticking napalm, stacking up, Firefly in 3 seconds time, but it looks like Sumail caught by the crush, as well as the cast. Even with PPD there trying to save him with that nice little cold embrace. The rotations, man, you were saying it from the draft, you were saying it as the game began. Mineski, they need to move around the map. They can't just sit on their laurels and wait for the laning phase to end. They have to go and apply pressure to EG and make sure that they don't get the free game that they've been set up for.
Yep. The easiest lane for Mineski to gain constantly over and over again, it's this Razor, because he's going to play aggressive. That's Sumail's play style, and he has a better hero to play very aggressive. And this is just a situation where he has to hold out on the aggression, because, as you see, Mineski are just ready to punish them. And Fear going to be on ward duty. Knight places a nice ward here. This helps out. Oh, is he going to scout out cast? Maybe putting down a ward? Well, he has a Purge Creep.
Oh, Fear. Is he going to get blocked in here? Jules lands the cross. This Scorched Earth, though. Look at the heals coming in. Fear is down to half HP. The damage output just isn't there for Mineski, and they even had Bulba coming across. Cast. Oh, God, he's slowed down a hell of a lot. Level 2 in Curse of the Avernus. The Searing Chains for DD out from Raging Potato. Slow the aggression. EG not going to be able to push this any further forward, while Jules, Mineski, they want to turn this back around. They know Scorched Earth is down. Now look for this Doombringer on the backside, but Fear has juked himself through the trees. Ben-Hur, there's no stun just yet. The Dragon Tail not forthcoming. Jules,
oh,
no mana left. He can't actually throw it out. Fear escapes, and Bulba's got his ultimate, pops it out, gets himself further back as well, and this is a Dragon form wasted. Mineski, my goodness, 4 heroes the bottom lane, and they don't even get a singular kill.
I think that's the one time in your life in about 1,000 games or whatever, you'll see a mana burn creep do something in a Doombringer where it actually stopped him from casting the Stomp, and Fear was 100% dead if he got that off. So that was very heads up from Fear. What a player.
And in the meantime, AUI is like, thank you chaps, I'll be up at top lane farming away. I've got my Helm of the Dominator. I'll look to start stacking. Actually, Ancients have already been stacked up a fair amount for him already. EG, they're prepped. I know what they're up to. Giving AUI the time of his life. Mineski, they will ping this out. I know that they've got to try and stop this, or at least get a ward down there so they know when AUI is doing it, but it's too late already. He moves over. He's got his God Strength. We'll stack it up one more time, and this is a massive burst of gold into him. Now, Ryu, what do you think AUI is going to be going for?
Echo Saber, 100%. I don't know if he'll get it first over Treads, but that is just the best item on Sven. If there was ever an item made for a hero, Echo Saber was made for Sven.
So I was asking because we've seen armor, the treads into armor. Echo Saber is pretty good. Blink daggers, even if you want to play aggressively very quickly. They've all been pickups here for them, but I agree. The mana regen, the strength, and that double slap you get, very good on the Sven. While mid lane, they jump up to Mail. Astro's there from Bocarino, and the first showing the debut of that Blink dagger will secure yet another kill on this Razor, who he got plenty of last hits, but net worth wise, he's sitting at 4th place currently.
This is a situation where Smail is going to be the target of EG, as we were going to say once again, and he kind of needs to go into the jungle and farm, but he also wants to apply pressure on the Dragon Knight, so he's just not free farming. But when AUI is kind of like farming his stacks there, that's kind of like, okay, well, Mineski are probably going to make a play somewhere on the map, and they did. And it just so happened, like I said, bo3, he's found a nice way to transition in this game. He had that nice kill top lane, now he's scouting out for PPD.
He's actually going to see him here. Oh, nice.
Bird on bird action.
He flaps his wings, but I don't think PPD is going to be escaping out of this one too easily. Remnants forward even from Raging Potato. Looking for that experience and gold, just trying to share it across, but it'll be Batrider that secures it all up, and they transition this into a push on a tier 1. It is a trade though, as tier 1 bottom falls to the Sven. And you look at the synergy here between Abaddon and Sven, right? Curse of the Avernus giving so much attack speed across to AUI that towers do not last long.
I'm interested to see if he'll go anything in the Mist Coil at this rate. Like you're talking about, the Curse is synergizes so well with their lineup and their chasing potential because it gives that movement speed as well. But at the same time, you would really love to have Mist Coil at least leveled up a bit, because it's like a 4-second cooldown where you're constantly healing your team in a lot of team fights, with the Aphotic Shield having a 6-second cooldown. So that's the whole point of Abaddon. You're just constantly dishing out all these healing, capabilities.
Even 1 point to deny yourself, right? It's always a good value point just to have one across it. So, Bulba level 8, we'll see what actually he heads into. It's pretty good timing to get that one up. But I want to point out, man, this Slardar, he went for the Iron Talon a couple of minutes ago, and he's actually got himself up to 1,300 gold. Blink Dagger is not far away from him. These key item timings are actually coming through very fast for Mineski, and EG, they're feeling this. They know that they have to go back and do something. Take towers, play aggressively, and try and run at Mineski, because that's what their draft really excels at. So smoke in behind this tier 1, but not going to catch anyone playing defensively around it, and they'll just look for the kill on the tower, try and give Sumail a little bit more gold.
Now, and this is a situation where you're going to start seeing the Ember Spirit make a very big impact on this game, because he went Boots of Travel, and they needed a hero that can split push the map, as well as, get like a Boots of Travel or, a Spectre Haunt or something. So they're able to join fights all the time. But the problem is now, this is a really good play from EG. They understand they're ahead. They've taken out the tier 1 mid, they've taken out the tier 1 bottom, and there's going to be no reaction from Mineski now. So this is going to be a free Roche for them.
Yeah, it's a relatively fast one as well, even without minus armor or anything like that. I've got the damage and the attack speed to rip right through the big man. Ben-Hur has picked up his armlet now though, and Slardar is 300 gold off it, man. Double blink threat is nearly here, and all of these heroes are very good at buying time for the Ember. Fighting his 4 while he does split push across the map.
Nobody wants Aegis.
They've got did no one take it? Just leave it for Sumail. He's fine with that one.
It's one of those situations where you could potentially write down the timer wrong, and that timer by 4 seconds off could be a very big deal. Because normally you take the Roche timer, sure you might know when it respawns, but you don't know when the person has the Aegis. And so if you go 4 seconds early, that could cost you a team fight. As we know, 3-1-5-4 shenanigans. But.
The epic Chinese memes. Well, bo3 forced out is pretty much in his pocket right now, as long as he doesn't get caught out by EG. I'll see the Firefly. Oh no. But that rider was here. His cast. He's doing a little bit of a PGG move there, running into enemy territory just to get a ward down. He's not smoked or anything. He could have given his life up there if EG were a little bit further south. And AUI flashed himself, showed on the map, and his Echo Saber is pretty damn close actually after the treads and the helm. And it's just going to be a little bit of a lull in action here as both teams are just waiting for that kind of bridge to get into their next item. As Raging Potato, he wants their Battle Fury, Witch Doctor. He wants his upgraded boots. He wants arcanes. He wants treads. He just wants something to tank himself up against the Sven. While Batrider, with a smoke ready, going to TP down towards bottom lane, and Mineski, they'll look for some action now.
Yeah, they're just gonna have to dodge right now because EG have the Aegis. Maybe the Batrider can go where EG are about to go, and he can just set up the Firefly, but he doesn't want to risk getting picked off here and trying to de-push that lane. So instead, he's just going to come with his allies. They're going to... This is really weird. He just wasted his smoke. He's going top lane. I'm kind of curious to see what he's going to do by himself here, but they have to know that EG are probably not going to stop the push. Like, both teams kind of push really slow because they don't have the best heroes. Sven is probably that X factor. Dragon Knight's okay, but you don't want to pop your dragon form and not have it for like a high ground defense. And at this stage of the game, EG, let's see, do they want to go high ground after this? They don't have their Vlads and they don't have their Echo Saber delivered to them, so they might not want to. But they could go high ground to force them back.
I mean, Mineski, they're already coming back. They want to defend this tier 2 with a Blink Crush in. Jules catches the Sven and the Razor. But EG, they've got sustain to actually run back into the faces of Mineski. Batrider is yet to blink lasso onto anyone, and PPD is over to the east here in this team fight, but AUI walk rise up, and EG will be able to just stand their ground and hold this one out. Death Ward drops even, they're trying to turn them back to the tier 2. Blink lasso to Camille, there's someone who's trying to turn around as well. PPD is actually saving his teammate here, bo3 might just drop. He will get taken out, demolished by EG, who now take down the tier 2 and say, thank you very much, Mineski, you walked right into our trap.
It's just weird for them trying to make a play when we know what's going to happen. You have Abaddon and you have Winter Wyvern. It's really hard to get through these guys. And you just saw the counterplays there from Peter and bo3 at the same time. They were both on their A game, and that's very scary for Mineski now going into the next fight. They're going to have to try and... I'm trying to figure out who they're going to go on in the back lines, because you have to catch PPD and you also have to catch out Abaddon in these situations, but the best way to catch Abaddon is by having silences. Nobody has silence on Mineski right here.
I've got lots of jump and a fair amount of damage, but if you're going to get baited and turned around like that, PPD, the master game plan right there. Perfect from evil geniuses. Mineski, Ryu, what do you think their game plan is? Do they want to slow the tempo here, even though they do have these blink daggers? Do they look for pickoffs? Because there's no such thing as a solo pickoff right now. EG are running around as 5. There is no one left to themselves. There's a solo pickoff on the Batrider potentially, but he blinks out and dodges, disjoints that Stormhammer. But I'm asking about Mineski, because there is no one alone on the map from EG.
No, they're just going to have to hold their high ground. That's the only play really Mineski have. Hold high ground and try to get split pickoffs around the map. Whereas, oh man, this reaction time for bo3 has been spot on right now. So that's a very good sign. They're on their A game today. No rest. Plenty of sleep.
Mid and top are being pushed in though. EG. A TP in bo3. He's got his ultimate, so he should be fine up in here. And shields away. Ben-Hur as well as Jules. Might be overstaying their welcome just a touch, but Ben-Hur is very quick on his feet. There's Dragon Form flapping his wings and getting himself away. And bo3 doesn't have that catchability, and this is one of the kind of weaknesses of EG's draft, right? They don't have someone who can really initiate into the team fights apart from the Sven. bo3, there's the solo target, there's the kill on PPD they've been looking for, but again, it's only going to be PPD as AUI wants to turn this one back around. But the Winter Curse on the Raging Potato, AUI stuns him up, and there's the Echo Saber slam twice. Raging Potato turns back around, Remnant across, and bo3 left to his own devices. No mana left to try and force himself away. He'll at least get that kill on the Winter Wyvern. But AUI clears up the rest as Ben-Hur, Dragon Form wearing out, stunned back onto Cast, and dear lord, AUI, no mercy whatsoever, says, cheers mate, I'll take you as well.
All the ways back to Jamaica for my friend. That was just brutal to watch. That's a 3-shot. So this is a situation now where Mineski are trying to make plays around the map, but it's a situation that's top lane. Well, I don't know if they can kill Bobo.
Bulma just stands his ground and says, yeah, what up? You want to fight me? Well, he does get crushed up. The ulti's popped out by the Abaddon. He's still got that shield. Runs himself to the east. Raging Potato misses out on the remnant, but he's got slight chains. Will catch Bulma now, and there's the damage output they needed. Finally, killing off that nasty Abaddon.
Nice rotation from Jules. Else they wouldn't have gotten the kill onto Boba. And he's just overstaying his welcome there. Although it is very good for them, at least for EG, to kind of make that space for Boba, but getting caught out on the enemy side, giving over, additional gold could help him out Mineski, because Mineski, what they desperately need to do is they need to get up to BKBs. If they can get up to like BKB status on like Batrider, Dragon Knight, even Slardar, they could be sitting in a very good position where EG Winter Wyvern, his ulti, it kind of got nerfed before, where Curse, you have to, if somebody else is BKB'd by the side, they can still run past you, and a situation where you won't get locked down by anybody. Obviously, it's not the best against, the Doom and stuff, but they just want to sit there and
Yeah, Cast. He has walked into this smoke gang. He's got a Cast as well as his Death Ward, but even with the Voodoo Restoration, he cannot keep himself alive while towards the mid. Bulba and Sumail. Lasso was expended there, but it looks like Bulba was ready to shield up the Razor, so there's no major damage done.
Oh, they were just they were kissing, and then all of a sudden Raging Potato.
He's got a remnant, but it's incredibly slow. He can't get over the trees and far away. He's actually cursed up here, and the damage output from Sumail. There's no escape. Oh, Raging Potato, you are done for.
Echo Saver, guys.
Run straight into you.
Echo Saver, 100% movement slow, get wrecked. Ember Spirit, oh my, what a counter.
And now they walk up onto tier 3. He can, but he wants his Battle Fury, right? Blinking and Crush from Jules. And EG, they've got the sustain. Make sure that it's not really gonna do too much damage to them, but they won't stick around to force the tier 3. They realize, we can wait things out. We can go back to farming. There's still bigger and better items for us to gain. Like with Sven, 3,000 gold saved up in the bank on top of his Blink Echo Saber. And what's next for him? You mentioned BKBs for Mineski. And is there a BKB in the sights for Sven on AUI?
I think he'll go for either Daedalus, so he can one-shot people, or AC. I think AC is a better team item this game, and they're looking very team-oriented right now for EG. And I would like to see the AC first on AUI. Although, at the same time, Sumail, I know he likes building... Well, he likes building Shivas, actually, on a lot of heroes. But he's going to go for the high ground siege right now. He's going to have that ag, so they're able to actually burst towers. Mid lane.
Sumail. There's the lasso and force staff. EG, they were kind of prepped to try and stop this one, but Sumail has taken so much damage to jump in with AUI, heals up, and bo3 shredded with a damage output from AUI. Cast, oh man, can you escape from this? You've got the TP in there, someone is going to stop it, even with the Cast bouncing back between them. This Witch Doctor, not long for the world, and it's a triple kill for AUI. As EG, perfect place, perfect time, and they were ready to stop any aggression, because you look at Mineski, that was a 3v5.
It's the problem we talked about during the draft. They have no burst. With these 3 heroes, there's no burst against the Razor, who has 2k HP on top of that. So in that situation, sure, you have the Witch Doctor ulti, but once PPD comes in, you're like, I don't care about your physical DPS. And yeah, EG just really nice responding to the situation, and they just need to hold out their high ground. Making these plays outside of the base is nice and all, but you just split up the map, you just farm, and then you just hold your high ground. That's Mineski's best shot at winning this game.
Mineski, even with a decent early lead, they had a 2,000 net worth lead over EG at about 10-12 minutes. It has plummeted. EG now with, closing in on a 10,000 net worth lead, but a 6,000 experience lead currently, with a second Roshan up in about 20 seconds. People Geniuses seem to be cruising to victory at this point. Of course, Mineski, high ground defense is something that we have to talk about, because it's coming. The push is coming, and Mineski, they've got Battle Fury on the Ember Spirit, they've got Blinks on Batrider and Slardar, but it's just this Dragon Knight that's the worry, because he's meant to be on the front foot. He wants to be pushing towers, he wants to be on the front lines, playing aggressively, but he's not a very good defensive hero, and he can try and stand his ground and fight. That's just not really where Dragonite excels.
No, and he has to wait for his BKB in this game, in this situation, and he does have it now, but it's a little too late because EG just have a good foothold on this game, and they are going to get the second Roche, and this is going to be potentially a high ground siege attempt now for them. So we're going to have to see if they're going to be able to hold. They are doing a nice job of taking, I thought they were going to take the tier 2 tower, but maybe they were going to set up for EG. Like Peter likes to make these plays where he TPs first and then tries to, you know, before they finish Roche. So they're able to catch somebody out. And so Mineski are a little bit worried about that. But speaking of pickoffs, bo3 should be okay here. Just split pushing.
Looks like he's fine. He's doing his tree cutting duties even though the challenge is over. Still feels he needs to burn through the Amazon there. Oh, Bulba up at top. Initiation's good, but actually killing him off is a different matter. If this Abaddon shields up, he's got his ulti and he will just force Mineski back. And currently EG with a buddy system. Abaddon as well as Wyvern up at top. Doom and Razor towards the mid. Aegis on the Razor, of course, going to help out a hell of a lot, and is a BKB from AUI, again with 2,500 gold in the bank to save up to his next item. But Mineski, you've got to feel so claustrophobic at this point. You're just being pushed in on all lanes, all sides. You're being marauded here by the ranks of EG. And what do you do to stop this? Can you just split push indefinitely as the Ember Spirit? Not really, because you have to come back and defend. Can you catch people with a Batrider and kill them? Not really, because EG have been 5-manning the entire bloody game.
The only way they get a pickoff with the Batrider, it has to be on... I still think it has to be on PPD. And he has a ways to scout out with his Firefly, so he can find out PPD in the backlines, but... it's gonna be hard.
You've got to try and outplay EG in this team fight. Honestly, Sumail with the Ags, like you said. Trying to burn down that tower. Initiation comes in, but bo3, that's not the target you wanted to go for. Already EG have taken down one, the curse back onto Casp as well. And even with a Batrider buyback, Evil Geniuses are just running rampant through this base. AUI on the front line decides, you know what, we've killed up 1, 2, force the buyback, we'll return to our base, or return to your tier 3. Oh, try and force down this tower. AUI's dropping incredibly low actually, needs that cold embrace to heal him up. But Evil Geniuses, they're not done just yet. They're still holding on to that Aegis on Sumail. Initiations are down from Mineski. And honestly, this base defense is coming to a crushing halt. And EG, they've dropped low on the HP, and once again, they will return back to farming safely, just regenerate, rejuvenate. I'll come back for round 3 in a little while.
They got the buyback that they wanted from the Batrider. Batrider decided to go, let's go on a guy who has unstable current where I'm not even going to be able to move. So that hurt their initiation a lot. And what they did for Mineski was amazing. They used the Dragon Tail on Bulba so that you're able to use the flaming or the lasso on somebody else. So I like how Mineski are approaching this game, but lassoing the Razor, it doesn't seem like a feasible, thing, especially when he has Aegis online. So you're gonna have to find somebody else, and they're just gonna have to find ways to hold this high ground now, because like we said, there's still Aegis on top of Sumail. He has that Ags. They don't have Fortify to work with next, and it's gonna be a lot harder this time around.
Ember Spirit is very scared towards the mid. Winter's Curse was coming up in just a couple of seconds. Of course, it's a pretty good setup. We've seen it already a couple of times. Curse into Stormhammer, and the damage from AUI is enough to clear up almost any target on the map currently. Here we go, round 3, EG. This Aegis, how long do we have on it actually? Another couple of minutes? Yeah, 1 minute 50 seconds or so, so Sumail should feel pretty safe just walking up to the tier 3, popping his ult and trying to take this one down. It's down to Mineski really here to try and stop this coming through. Tier 3's gone, Glyph not available, and Dragonite. Push yourself up onto the front line as Ember Spirit returns. There's the Blink Lasso again onto the Razor, but the Curse turns it back around. Ben-Hur's caught, and AUI, yeah, Stormhammer in, there's the cleave damage through onto Mineski. DPS is good, and Ben-Hur ultimate toggles through, but the BKB keeps him alive. AUI finds another in the back end. But Mineski, I think your time is done, my friends, as Evil Geniuses will clear through your barracks. Probably the rest of your base at this point.
Why stop? Why stop, they say.
I mean, Jules, you can initiate all you want, but if you don't have the follow-through or the backup to actually do damage to EG, what's the point? You're not even delaying the push coming in. And Ben-Hur gets a decent amount of his damage drained back out from Sumail as well. And still holds on to Aegis of the Immortal. Bulba gets the right clicks in onto the Melee racks down at that bottom lane. EG, very disciplined though. Dedicated to the cause, they will back up and make sure that they have enough HP to go back in for another attempt on these buildings.
I mean, they're just so tanky right now. They have so much sustain. The only thing they're really lacking in this game is a mech. Like, I'm very surprised that Fear didn't try to go for maybe mana boots into a mech so they can have that online, but they honestly don't need it just because of the Vlad's heal, the cold embrace, and well, they're gonna find bo3.
Mineski have walked out of their base into EG here, but it's a kind of a weird position for them to be in. Fear, he's got a full Shivers Guard. Doom's up in her, no Dragon Form for you, even if it is on cooldown. They run into Cast, and a couple of swipes out from EG will clear him up. The full step away, good play by Jules. Yes, a DK away from danger, but they can't do the same for bo3, even with Raging Potatoes, Searing Chains out, and Remnant away. EG, they've got 5 alive, and they're up against 3 currently. Mineski holding on for dear life at this point, but 29 minutes in and this game is coming to a close, my friend. Evil Geniuses find a second lane of racks and defending up against this Mineski. And it's a difficult prospect for them to stay in this game. Even with that slight damage, looking decent. Again, the Blink Cross from Jules will catch a couple, but they just don't have the nuke damage. They don't have the finishing blow. They don't have the fatality onto EG here to actually kill him one. And they're trying to chase. They're trying to slight chains. But it's the story of this game, man. It's the story of this game. It's just not enough. It's just not enough from Mineski.
You know, all things considered, I like their chances of after the Ember Spirit pick than before. Like before, it looked like they had like a 10% chance to like win this game.
But then I went up to like 11% chance.
No. It actually went up to like 25 or 20 because the way they did this is if they hold out for like 60, 70 minutes, they can win this game. Like, it's not guaranteed because late game situation, EG are very strong too. But because Ember, he could have, you know, a rapier, 2 rapiers, and their high ground defense is insane, especially with the Bat Rider and the Slardar. But Smail, gonna find out Jules. He's fine though. They don't have enough lockdown from EG.
Oh, Smail wants to go for Cast anyway. Jules. Oh, the courier stopped. A kill on that one. Well played by the Ember Spirit there, and Jules trying to TP away. The vision given by the Shivers Guard there. Oh, Infernal Blade not going to stop the TP quite as Fear attempted that one. But you look at this, Sven, 20,000 net worth, 15k on the Razor. And Mineski, they've got the Ember Spirit with 15k, but the next 2 heroes are Bulba as well as Fear. The Doom and the Abaddon both playing this kind of 3-role themselves with plenty of money, and a 20k net worth lead and a 15,000 experience lead for EG really signals that Mineski have got a long road ahead of them this tournament, man.
Yep. Courier, 2400. That was a Daedalus.
Demon Edge. There's a Demon Edge out. There's the lasso onto Fear this time, but the Doombringer tanky as all hell. They'll try and take down Bulba, but he's popped his ultimate and Ben-Hur BKB'd up, but dear lord, AUI, that is not allowed in multiple countries. Kills off the Witch Doctor, and the Winner's Coast pretty damn good. The cleave comes through, and I think this is where you call the G's, and Jules will do just that. Caps out. EG takes game number 1 in 31 minutes and 40 seconds as, well, Raging Potato, you're having a little bit of dance to death there with EG, but he will stay alive. 6-20 is the final kill score, and EG take game number 1 as best of 3.
I really love the EG's draft and their execution. It wasn't perfect because there was a little bit of sloppy plays here and there. We saw how Samael can be very he can be punished easily in the mid lane, so that's something to worry about for EG if they go against, you know, stronger opponents.